My personal mission is to help people find the greater good in humanity by celebrating what's right in the world. One of the questions we were asked as children was, what do you want to be when you grow up? As a child, I loved to draw and sketch, and I wanted to be an architect. At some point along the journey, I realized math was not my forte. That being my reality, designing skyscrapers was probably not in my future. We have hopes. We have dreams. We have aspirations as we learn, as we grow, and as we experience life. We show up in adulthood, and we go on job interviews. One of the most frequently asked interview questions is, where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? I never answer the question in the traditional sense. The interviewer's framework is usually concerned with career goals, specific companies, and locale. It's a linear question. First, then this, and then that. My answer is, I will work from my strengths in a role that is aligned with my personal mission statement and code of ethics. I choose to do so because they speak to what I value and hold to be right and true with the world. The job or state of the world does not change who I am, so I can confidently operate from this framework. My personal mission is to help people find the greater good in humanity by celebrating what's right in the world. In the first semester of my doctoral program in organizational leadership at Pepperdine University, my cohort spent time exploring our personal leadership styles. My personal mission statement came as a result of the reflections on how I wanted to show up in the world. I had to imagine, and I had to give voice to who and how I would show up as a leader. That was life-defining work that led to the development of my personal code of ethics, the Hygh. The Hygh. We are no longer children. No one is asking what we want to be when we grow up. We are always in pursuit of some form of answer to that question. Our futures have to be built upon a solid foundation in order to grow, to learn, and to expand our horizons. That foundation includes a personal mission statement and code of ethics that does not change with each job or our life phase. Who you are at a core changes jobs and makes life better and clearer for you and for those around you. Others benefit. It is imperative that you share it with the folks that will journey with you and hold you accountable for being who you say you are and doing what you say you will do. As I live out the Hygh and help people find the greater good in humanity by celebrating what's right in the world, I will exhibit an optimistic countenance from sunrise to sunset and beyond. This is probably the hardest task in my personal code of ethics. In every situation, it is my attempt to see the glass as half full instead of half empty. I look for the sunshine at the end of every rainbow. There may not be gold, but there will be sunshine. As a person of deep faith, spiritual practices like attending worship and prayer have helped me to wake up every morning and embrace what is possible. Faith helps me to see what is right with and in the world. I will exhibit an optimistic countenance from sunrise to sunset and beyond. As I live out the Hygh and I help people find the greater good in humanity by celebrating what's right in the world, I will treat my body as a temple with a daily exercise regimen and healthy eating. One of my favorite cookbooks is a healthy eating cookbook by R&B singer and legend Patti LaBelle. In it, she says, treat your body like a temple, not an amusement park. Treat your body like a temple, not an amusement park. Anyone who follows me on social media knows that I love food. I love high-end restaurants. I love food trucks. I love hole-in-the-wall restaurants. And I love firing up the grill in my own backyard. I'm a native Texan, and there is nothing like some good barbecue or some fried catfish. As a result of my love affair with food, my weight has fluctuated throughout the years. We are not to purposely destroy our temples with unhealthy lifestyles. I have committed to making exercise a part of my daily routine. Living in Southern California makes getting outdoors and moving a lot easier. I go to boot camp twice a week at 5:45 a.m. I have returned to one of my favorite childhood activities, riding the bicycle several times a week. There are so many great bike paths to see along the mountains, along beaches, and along rivers and urban city streets. Our region has some amazing hikes that I have yet to fully explore the entire region. I also love leisurely walks and looking at trees and flowers and hearing birds chirping as the sun rises each morning. It's a struggle, but I make attempts to center healthy eating as a consistent part of my lifestyle. I do my best to abstain from fast food and fried foods. It's easy to roll through a drive-thru, but I try my best to eat a balanced diet that includes all of the food groups in the correct portions. You want to talk about hard? Woo, for a foodie, it is hard work to do that. I will treat my body as a temple with a daily exercise regimen and healthy eating. As I live out the highway, as I help people find the greater good in humanity by celebrating what's right in the world, I will not sit in judgment of others. I will meet people where they are in life, no matter what their circumstance or situation. I acknowledge that I do not totally know the motivation or perception of others. If I knew their perception, then I could come closer to understanding their motivation and their actions. Perception is interpreting stimuli according to organized experience. We see things not as they are, but as we are. My perception filters may lead to biases or even prejudices. In my educational process, I realized that my perception is my truth, regardless of the facts. Your perception is your truth, regardless of the facts. We must discover the facts together. Most people tend to judge themselves more charitably than others. We are influenced by what is most obvious and cling to first impressions. I desire to have empathy, the ability to recreate another's perspective even more than sympathy, and compassion for another's predicament. I am morally obligated to treat everyone with respect regardless of who they are and how they do or do not agree with me. This country boy right here has been blessed to travel the world. With personal and professional travel, I have journeyed to 6 of the 7 continents, 45 of our 50 United States, and about 29 countries. I have met people from all over the world from all walks of life. I strive to treat everyone with respect. This includes people of all colors, sizes, socioeconomic backgrounds, lifestyles, political persuasions, and every other category society upholds. I want to break down walls, and I want to build bridges. I will not sit in judgment of others. I will meet people where they are in life, no matter what their circumstance or situation. As I live out the highway, as I help people find the greater good in humanity by celebrating what's right in the world, I will value interpersonal interactions with family, friends, and coworkers. In all interactions, I will seek to build relationships of trust and unity that nurture and build up the persons who are around me. I've always tried to be an encourager. Whether at work or at play, I believe that everyone needs a positive word or two in their life. Everyone needs someone to pour words of encouragement into their spirit, which lifts their whole being. It lets people know that you see them and they matter. This is most easily accomplished among friends and family who have high degrees of intimacy. Characteristics of intimate relationships are marked by high degrees of warmth and affection, trust, self-disclosure, and commitment. The melody of thankfulness is encouragement, and it is hope. I believe that by encouraging and building up the people who are around you, you become a better person in the process. I will value interpersonal interactions with family, friends, and coworkers. In all interactions, I will seek to build relationships of trust and unity that nurture and build up the persons who are around me. As I live out the highway, As I live out the highway and I help people find the greater good in humanity by celebrating what is right in the world, I will live a life filled with great joy, great excitement, and a personal commitment to excellence, never looking back saying I should have or I could have, but instead saying I did. Life for me is an exciting adventure. Tomorrow is promised to no one. Each day I want to do my best. My best is different depending upon what obstacles and what opportunities are presented. I want to take advantage of every opportunity that is presented. I never want to look back in life with regret, but look back with amazement and in wonder. When the journey along the highway of life comes to an end, the thing I want to be said is that I lived well, I lived with purpose, and I lived with others in mind. I will live a life filled with great joy, excitement, and a personal commitment to excellence, never looking back saying I could have or I should have, but instead saying I did. I'm living my best life when I'm living the highway. What is your personal mission? What will you include in your personal code of ethics? Are you willing to post them so that folks in your orbit can hold you accountable as to how you want to show up in the world? One of the quotes that I live by is from journalist Hunter S. Thompson. Thompson says that life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, wow, what a ride. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? I never answer that question in the traditional sense. The interviewer's framework is usually concerned with career goals, specific companies, and locales. It's a linear question. First, then this, and then that. I always answer that I will work from my strengths in a role that is aligned with my personal mission statement and my personal code of ethics. If I do this, I know that when my journey is complete, I can skid into the grave proclaiming, wow, what a ride, what a ride. I want to have lived a life saying I did. I know that I would have lived my personal mission to the fullest, helping people see the greater good in humanity by celebrating what's right in the world. As we define the future, what's your mission? What statement will your life make?